The chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court has applied for arrest warrants against top Israeli and Hamas leaders for alleged war crimes.
I can also confirm today that I have reasonable grounds to believe, on the basis of evidence collected and examined by my office, that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Minister of Defense Yoav Gallant bear criminal responsibility for the following international crimes committed on the territory of the State of Palestine from at least the 8th of October 2023.
Here are some reactions to the announcement. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the ICC decision a disgrace and an attack on Israel, rejecting any comparison between Israel and Hamas.
The outrageous decision by the ICC prosecutor, Karim Khan, to seek arrest warrants against the democratically elected leaders of Israel is a moral outrage of historic proportions. It will cast an everlasting mark of shame on the International Court. Israel is waging a just war against Hamas, a genocidal terrorist organization that perpetrated the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Hamas massacred 1,200 Jews, raped Jewish women, burned Jewish babies, took hundreds hostage. Now, in the face of these horrors, Mr. Khan creates a twisted and false moral equivalence between the leaders of Israel and the henchmen of Hamas. This is like creating a moral equivalence after September 11th between President Bush and Osama bin Laden, or during World War II between FDR and Hitler. What a travesty of justice, what a disgrace.
Israeli President Isaac Herzog said drawing parallels between terrorists and Israel's government, which defends its citizens according to international law, is outrageous and unacceptable. Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich likened the ICC prosecutor's announcement to Nazi propaganda. Hamas denounced the ICC prosecutor's decision to seek arrest warrants against its leaders, accusing Karim Khan of trying to equate the victim with the executioner. The government media office in Gaza welcomed the ICC's decision to seek arrest warrants for Israeli leaders, but denounced the decision to apply for warrants for Hamas leaders. Waisal Abu Youssef of PLO Executive Committee said Palestinians have the right to defend themselves and called for ICC warrants against Israeli officials for genocide in Gaza. Mustafa Barghouti of Palestinian National Initiative said the ICC's step affirms that no one is immune from international law and is a first step toward holding Israeli leaders accountable for crimes in Gaza. Belgian Foreign Minister Hadja Labib stated that any crimes committed in Gaza must be prosecuted at the highest level and called the ICC's move an important step. Austrian Chancellor Karl Nehammer said Austria respects the ICC's independence, but found the move to seek warrants for Israeli and Hamas officials at the same time non-comprehensible. Czech Republic Prime Minister Petr Fiala called the ICC prosecutor's proposal unacceptable, emphasizing that it was Hamas that attacked Israel, leading to the current conflict. Spokesperson for British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said the ICC's decision is unhelpful for achieving a pause in fighting and humanitarian efforts, noting that the UK does not recognise Palestine as a state and Israel is not a party to the Rome Statute.
We do not believe that the ICC prosecutor seeking warrants will help in this regard. As we have said from the outset, we do not think the ICC has jurisdiction in this case.
US President Joe Biden called the application for an arrest warrant for Netanyahu and Gallant outrageous, stating there is no equivalence between Israel and Hamas.
Let me be clear. We reject the ICC's application for arrest warrants against Israeli leaders. Whatever these warrants may imply, there is no equivalence between Israel and Hamas. And it's clear Israel wants to do all it can to ensure civilian protection. But let me be clear. Contrary to allegations against Israel made by the International Court of Justice, what's happening is not genocide. We reject that. We're going to always stand with Israel.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken reiterated the U.S. rejection of the ICC prosecutor's application for arrest warrants for Israeli officials and Hamas, supporting President Biden's stance. UN Special Rapporteur on the Right to Housing Balakrishnan Rajagopal welcomed Khan's requests and said the charges against Israeli leaders are likely to stick. Human Rights Watch welcomed the ICC's decision, stating it opens the door for accountability for serious abuses committed in Israel and Palestine.